Tonight, we are staying overnight in this safari lodge, which just so happens to be right in the middle of a theme park. Serengeti Park, to be exact. And we had to go on a safari to get here. Wow. Window up. Yep.
Are we allowed to pass here, sir?
This place is really interesting and there's a lot of stuff to show you guys. So, without further ado, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Welcome to Serengeti Park. Okay, so maybe it's not Jurassic Park, but we do have a safari to go on before we get to our lodge. And just like staying overnight at any hotel or lodge, here, we have to check in before we can do anything else. Like most theme parks, we got a guy here telling us where to park, which actually isn't really that bad. It's better than fighting over a place to park. Open sesame. All right, so we've made it to the reception where we will be checking in, but unfortunately we cannot actually get into the room until 4 p.m. Yeah. All right. So we are all checked in, but like I said, we cannot get into our room until 4 o'clock. So we got some time to kill. Let's go check out the animals and go on a little safari, shall we? Huh. I guess you can take some kind of a tour on that train?
Ja, du kannst das Auto lassen. So, jetzt sind wir richtig. Juhu, wir haben es geschafft. Okay.
Please note that feeding the animals independently is not tolerated here, and keep your windows and doors closed at all times.
Did I just hear them say that we need to keep the windows and doors closed at all times?
Mhm. ¿Cómo estás?
One of the things that I find really cool about this place is that you can actually walk along the edge of the safari area up here. Oh, that's cool.
Ja.
So if you guys can see that, the animals can clean themselves on that roll there. They just kind of, I guess, scratch themselves up against it, like a bear would a tree. This is crazy. Look, there's just like a waiting line. And just like that, even on safari, we have a traffic jam. I never thought I'd be able to say that I went to a safari somewhere and got stuck in a traffic jam. Just like most places like this, how busy it is depends on a couple of factors. One, what time of the year is it? And two, what time of the day is it? Unfortunately, we were actually supposed to be here earlier, but there were traffic jams on the way here as well. And ironically, now we're sitting in a traffic jam in the middle of a safari, which I never thought that would be possible. But here we are. And where we are right now at this time of the year, it's a busy time of the year. It's cool to see the animals. It is. But it's going to take forever to get to our room at this point. Because I'm looking at this, and by the time you get your enjoyment from looking at the animals, it's like, okay, I've looked at the ostrich. I want to go, but you can't really. You're kind of stuck in this really long line. And for that reason, I think it's time for a montage. Roll it. That guy has the feet of a dinosaur. Oh, look, he's coming over here. I don't know if that's window up. Yep. Wow. Wow. You are something else. Look at that. It's almost like coming face to face with a dinosaur. I'm getting the feeling the animals are basically coming to the highest bidder here. Hey, buddy. Are you a Zwergiesel? Huh? No, I don't. I'm sorry, I don't have the good stuff. So we're finished with the safari and we've made it back to the parking place. Now it's just time to grab our bags and see if we can find our room. All right, so we are right here and we need to go this way up here. All right, we are staying in lodge number 13. So it looks like we are going in this direction. All right, looks like we're gonna take another right, and our cabin is right here in the corner. Oh, look at that. They got bags for dogs, which is pretty cool. So that means that, yes, dogs are allowed here. These look like some pretty cozy little cabins here. And it doesn't look like there's many people here, at least at the moment. If this place is booked out, it's not showing it right now because everyone's probably at the park. And there's ours. Boom, number 13. Oh, wow. This is tiny. But nice, but nice. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but I can hear the kids on the roller coaster from here in the room. We are right in the middle of the theme park, and this lodge is what the Germans would call klein aber fein. Translated, that means small but nice. And this lodge would fit right into a safari. But we don't have much time to show you this lodge right now because everything closes at 6 p.m. and times are rolling, time's wasting. So we're gonna go ahead and check out the theme park and try to grab a bite to eat, and then I'll come back here and give you guys a tour of the room. Really? Come on, babe.
Ich verstehe das aber nicht. Wie? Die sind doch gerade auch rausgegangen.
We've been watching people come in and out of that door all day long. Oh, you push a button. Little word of advice, if you're trying to get in and out of this door, it's a button. Even though it tells you to pull, you gotta push a button first. Do we gotta do teamwork? Teamwork. Ooh, okay. So I have to pull it at the exact same time she uses the card. Teamwork. I gotta do that. Yep, I'm doing that.
Okay. Robert ist dort. Und ich gehe dorthin. Wow.
That's all, folks.
And just like that, it's already 6 p.m. and all of the rides are basically shutting down. We only had enough time for me to get on that boat and for Daisy to do the Ferris wheel. And that's basically because we were 2 hours late due to a traffic jam, which wasn't cool, but either way, we still had fun seeing the attractions. I guess now it's time to grab a bite to eat. And that is my permission to eat here at the buffet. So I didn't want to record inside of the buffet because there's a lot of families with their children and having private time, you know, and I just didn't want to I didn't feel comfortable putting any of that, basically walking around there with a camera. No. But it's a typical buffet, as you could imagine. The cuisine is very German. We have here vegetable Spätzle. I hope. How'd you say that?
Spätzle.
Spätzle?
Spätzle.
Spätzle. Like an Italian Spätzle.
Bayerisch. Spätzle.
So vegetable Spätzle. Vegetable Schweinebraten, which is basically some kind of cut of pig, potatoes, broccoli, chicken, and yeah.
And nuggets.
And nuggets. If you want nuggets and fries for the kids. You want this back?
Yes. No. I'm the kid. No. What are you doing? No. Oh, babe. Oh.
It tastes just like a McDonald's nugget. So yeah, you have a little something for everyone. I'm gonna shut up and start eating. All right, so that dinner unfortunately was not worth what we paid for it. But no matter, we're going back to the cabin and we'll give you guys a walkthrough. All right, so as soon as you walk in, the first thing that you see right in front of you is a very tiny TV on the wall, but that's okay because we're not here to watch TV, we're here to see the animals and ride the rides. The decorations here are very, well, I guess they're supposed to be African of some sort. But yeah, they're very safari-like. Here you have goggles, old binoculars, and binocular cases, and of course, a rope on the wall. The couch is actually pretty comfortable here. It comes with, of course, a very basic coffee table. And then right above it is this picture, this gigantic picture, that basically is there to, I guess, remind you that you are sleeping in Serengeti Park. Right next to it here is an ostrich, which in German is called an Afrikanischer Strauß. And that's actually what this lodge is named after, because every room is a separate lodge from another and every lodge has its own name. And this one just happens to be named after an ostrich. On the other side of the room here, you have a little lounge chair, which is also really comfortable, and a nice little window to let in some light, but unfortunately there is absolutely no view to this room because you're basically staring at a bunch of bushes. I guess it could be worse, but that's pretty much all you see. On the right-hand side of the main entry here is your refrigerator, which actually works. We've been keeping our stuff in it, and it's been keeping our stuff pretty cool. So that's a plus. You have your trash can down here. Up above, hanging here, are mugs for coffee. You have little instant coffee packs here, instant tea packs. I believe there is no hot chocolate, but that's okay. And a water kettle to boil your water. Right next to that is a little cabinet to put your stuff in, which is probably what you'll end up using because there is absolutely nothing in the bedroom to put your stuff in. So that's the only option you have is right here, the little cabinet area, and then the hanger here for your jacket and whatever. But it's enough for the occasion. The bathroom is really basic. Of course, you have just your sink, your toilet here, your shower, which also has Serengeti Park written on the inside of it just to remind you that you're in Serengeti Park as you're showering. Yeah, there's a lot of fresh air in the bathroom, but if you open the window, not much privacy as you can see. I wish the view could be better, you know? You didn't notice this? This is the first thing that I noticed when I came in here and I sat down on the toilet earlier. I said to myself, wait a second, I could just open up this window And it's just so exposing to everything, because right on the other side of me is, if you look here, you'll see it's just where everyone walks by. And behind this door is the bedroom here. And as you can see, it is really tiny. Let me turn on the lights for you. There you go. Yet another poster on the wall to remind you that you are in Serengeti Park. And they even prepared a towel animal on the bed for us. It's an elephant. So the lodge that we have here tonight is pretty basic, as you can see, but it has more than enough. And really, I think the whole point here is just to kind of give you this African vibe with the decorations here to make you feel like you're in Africa. If that's working or not, I can't really tell you because I haven't visited Africa yet, but I don't think it's super accurate, to be honest with you. And you know, the point isn't really to stay here in this lodge, you know, while you're here. The point of this place is to go out and experience the animals, all of the rides and the food, and basically everything that it has to offer. Unfortunately, the food that we ate tonight, at least, just wasn't good at all. The chicken nuggets and the French fries were the best thing of that buffet, unfortunately. I have to get some real food tomorrow when I go home.
Good morning.
So, I slept pretty well, but despite that, I'm still pretty tired. I think it has something to do maybe with the food from last night. And hopefully the breakfast this morning is better than that. We'll see. And the breakfast is in the same restaurant as our dinner last night, which is not giving me a good feeling. The breakfast buffet was your typical German breakfast cuisine, complete with bread, an assortment of meats and cheeses, eggs, bacon, and no, these are not pancakes, they're Pfannkuchen, the German version of pancakes, and they are not the same thing. On the good side, there's more than enough seating in the cafeteria room, which still maintains a warm feeling despite being so large. The breakfast was definitely better than the dinner buffet the night before, which is a shame because the breakfast was really just standard hotel cuisine. There's absolutely nothing special about it, but I was thankful to have a full stomach to start the day with. I have mixed feelings about the overall experience here. Let me just say this, would I do it again? Well, I would probably come here again just to visit for the day, but I wouldn't spend the night. I wouldn't do an overnight here again. It wasn't worth it, if you ask me. The food was horrible. The price that we paid for that buffet, the food was just not worth it. All of the meat was dry. And if the best thing that you have on your fancy buffet are chicken nuggets and French fries, then I think you have to rethink your menu, or at least how you're executing it, because I know that some theme parks, they seem to get a pass on having bad food, but I wouldn't feed that to a starving dog. Where's Gordon Ramsay when you need him, huh? The park itself is fun, but it was really busy, and you know, we only unfortunately got to do 2 things because we came 2 hours late thanks to a traffic jam, which really sucks. I wish we had more time to show you guys more of this place, but the thing that really stood out is basically the animals. Going on that safari, even though there were a lot of people there, it was really cool to see the animals up close and even be able to interact with some of them, even though technically you're not supposed to. The guards, they see it and they kind of turn a blind eye because the animals that you're interacting with is, well, they're friendly animals. Once you go through the part where you see the lions and all that kind of stuff, they're very strict on you keeping your windows up for safety, of course. The beds were comfortable, but the lodge was pretty small, and you know, the beds were separated, so I guess that's our fault for booking that. There are other different kinds of lodges here that you can book, but this is the one that we chose. And maybe I'll come back and do a different lodge. No. I'm not going to backtrack on what I just said. I wouldn't stay here another night. You may be wondering how much all of this costs. Well, let me tell you. 2 adult day passes for the park were 95 euros. Parking was 4 euros and 50 cents. Overnight with breakfast for 2 included was 148 euros. That water from the vending machine cost 3 euros and 80 cents. And I paid 54 euros for Daisy and I to eat that buffet food that we had last night. It wasn't good. And the drinks in the buffet were not inclusive, and each drink cost 3 euros and 80 cents extra. In total, the whole experience cost 312 euros and 90 cents. I don't know, would you guys stay in a place like this? Have you ever stayed in a place like this? Let me know in the comments below. Well, that is pretty much it for this week's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe because we go on these adventures all the time. So we'll see you guys next time. Peace.